once you're able to talk to people, you notice that in reality they weren't as social, or maybe the one you thought was quiet was actually social. So this filter creates a confirmation bias about people, and so you got to be careful with that. With you got to observe what type of first impression people give you based on their physical appearance and what they're dressing, and be conscious of it and move it to the side, and understand that this is just a overall impression that has nothing to do with them. It has more to do with my own projection and what I associate people who dress that way. That's just your own projection. So be ready for anything, because people are backwards. The most evil looking people could be the nicest person, and the nicest persons could be the evilest looking person. So that initial bias, that initial appearance bias, can really mess up everything. And if you're someone that's very superficial, you're gonna fall for this trap. So so the next thing is pay attention to their base levels to look for any divergence. So once you understand your how your bias colors the way you perceive them initially, and how that perception can potentially become the prism as to how you interpret everything about them, you also have to pay attention to who they are almost every day, right? Who they are they usually chilled? Are they social, extrovert, introverted, quiet, this, that? Pay attention to that, right? Because then one day, if they're usually social, all of a sudden they're quiet. If they're usually quiet, all of a sudden they're social. They might be on crack. If they're usually focused and today they're more distracted. If you're paying attention to any baseline level, you're going to be able to notice those sudden moods. And it's almost like when we're sad and somebody notices. Don't you notice that it's actually a very nice thing for somebody to say, hey, Father Alex, you look a little down today. Oh, thank you for noticing. There is a pleasurable thing in that. So you're really learning how to be more charming by just paying attention to people's baseline level and paying attention to any diversions. That's one thing. Because again, these are all general things that you guys can observe. The next thing is notice. Another way is to observe people in action, right? Especially during moments of crisis. When there's a crisis, that's when you should be even more alert. Notice how they behave when there's a crisis. Notice whether or not they give up quickly, whether or not they start complaining, whether or not they start gossiping and trying to spread their negativity onto other people, whether or not they start pulling away and start running from responsibility. How do they, or maybe they turn tyrannical. How do they react to difficult moments? And also, how do they react to success? When things go right in their lives, how do they react? Do they start getting entitled? Do they start seeing you as though you're a peasant? Do they start having an ego because of their success? All of those things is a reflection of their character, and a lot of the times we're just not paying attention to that. Why? For the next thing is that you should always be updating people every other month or so, right? Never have a person's perception in your mind static. Always make sure to be updating it and giving it new information. Too many times we have a perception of someone, and that perception of someone in our minds hardens. This person can become a better person over the time. This person might become more tyrannical, but we fail to notice the changes simply because we're too self-absorbed. So this is why humans have extra neurons in our frontal cortex to update how we perceive people. And too many of us develop a static perception of people, right? People change over time, and sometimes improve, and sometimes they don't improve. And so you can't harden the way you see people because they gave you a good impression at first, and then when they start acting in ways that are more negative, in ways that you kind of don't want them to behave, sometimes we just deny it. Sometimes we just ignore it, and we keep thinking that who they are is the same as they were many years ago, right? And this happens a lot, actually. You might be surprised how often this happens, where we just don't notice the changes in the people in our lives. And what tends to happen is that because you don't notice the changes, one day you wake up and you feel like you don't know them anymore. You know? So that's one thing. All right. Another thing, and last thing, which is very important, is observe the laws of opposites, right? If somebody appears very masculine, 100% there's a fragile femininity within them. If they appear super confident on the outside, I can promise you they're highly insecure on the inside. If they always appear to be happy on the outside, they're usually depressed on the inside. Any exaggeration of one quality on the outside usually proceeds with the complete opposite of that trait on the inside. But what I'm talking about is exaggeration, right? Notice the one quality that they tend to push and exaggerate the most, almost to a point of caricature. And I'm telling you, you could just like a math equation, assume the opposite. You're mostly right about that, you know. And these are some ways that you guys can read people like a book. These are very easy because it's not. I didn't really talk about how to digest nonverbal cues because it's a little bit longer video. I'm actually going to put that in my course. But this is how you observe almost anyone. And this is something that if somebody pays attention to you, you'll be able to notice, okay, if somebody does this to me, they'll be able to read me, because you do reveal things about you that people just don't know. You hope people are not paying attention. You know what I'm saying? And I know you guys are paying attention watching my channel. So Father Alex has said some things that he regrets online, but thank God that my dark side is not that dark, you know. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys ever want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org. I hope you guys enjoy my white screen in the background. Father Alex is getting white, people, Michael Jackson style, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. All right, if you guys enjoy these videos about stoicism, dating, relationships, self-help, moving up in life, I would recommend you guys check out some of my courses that I have for sale. These courses are courses for men and women. For example, Nice Girl, Nice Guy is a course about how to become more assertive. Natural Chemistry is a course for women that I have on how to develop strong relationships. Dark Game is a controversial course that I have for guys on how to attract women in their life and keep it. It's not as dark as it seems, but we do talk about some dark psychology in here. Psychological Game of Attraction is a course that we made for women who are single. And as you see, we have a course about how to develop charisma, Emotional Mastery, which is a course about how to develop a meditation practice and how to improve your emotional life, to become more resilient, to not let rejection hit you so hard, to be able to bounce back from failure. I have a course called Nice Guy, which is a course for guys who are single and guys who want to be able to develop more assertiveness training, right? Most of these courses come at $99. And there you could also purchase the bundle where you guys can purchase all of the courses in one go at a discounted rate, right? We have a bundle for women and a bundle for men. So click in the description down below to check them out. You could browse around and see the courses that you like. And if you don't like them, you guys can ask for a 30-day money-back guarantee, and I'll give you guys the money back, okay? And in fact, we actually have a new one for women right now we're developing. It's called The Feminine Woman. So if you're a woman watching, this course is specifically to help women become more feminine, to embrace their feminine while embracing their masculine energy. And I'm actually going to make a course for that, like that for men, which is called the Masculine Man, which is a course on how to develop masculinity and develop masculine energy, to attract women in your life, to attract business success in your life, to be able to be better socializing, to read people better. It's truly an all-around course. So if you guys want to check out those courses, click on the description down below where it says purchase the courses, and I'll see you guys inside. Bye-bye.